So guys, today we are going to learn the second part of the CRUD operations, that is called creation. First of all, we did the reading part. Now we are going to do the creation part. So creating any employee and getting it reflected back to the database. Before, what we are doing was we were taking the data from database and reflecting it on our application, on our browser. Okay, finally now we will be entering the data in the browser and it will reflect to our database. That is known as creation. So creation, the process is reverse than the reading. Okay, so basically it's like writing to the table. Okay, so I will show you how we can do it. First of all, our controller, let's set up our controller for the creation. So here what I'm going to do is http get. So get request is coming and okay, and now we'll create a method called create. Okay, and we'll return a view for the get request, and then we'll create another action type known as post. So in order to post the whatever we are doing on the browser, you can post it back. To do that, public action result create employee emp object. Okay, so we are going to create an employee object. In that employee object, we'll tell that teacher I equal to object dot save employee emp obj. Okay, I'll tell you what is. Okay, so sorry. Let's put it here. Okay, I'll explain you about saving the employee. Don't worry about it. See, first step is creation. So creation and then posting it and then the database gets it, so getting it. So that's how it works. So first thing is to create it. Now saving thing, we will be writing the logic of the save employee. Here what we are going to say is if I is greater than 0, return redirect what? Redirect to action. And here we'll say get employee. So get employee is our method which reads from the database. So in case if I is greater than 0, it is going to get you back to the get employee. What does this mean is, I'll show you here. we have a stored procedure called get employee details. Okay, or sorry, insert employee details. If I execute this process, what is going to happen is, says one row affected, right? So here one row affected, that means that it's that value is greater than 0. Okay, so that 0, if it can be 10 rows, it can be 20 rows, depends. So once it's done, you're going to go to get employee. Okay, that's how it is working here. So we go to get employee and then say else return a view EMP object. Okay, that is done. Now it's time to create a which method? Save. Saving is very important. So how are we going to save a particular result? So now what we are going to do is save the employee. So we give the reference of this method here. Now we'll go to our context class. Okay, here in the context class we did the read functionality. Now we are going to implement the creation functionality using the method called save employee. Okay, so we'll say public int save employee and then we'll call employee EMP object. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to call a SQL command, similarly what we did, and then we will call SQL command and then we will call the stored procedure. Don't worry about the stored procedure for now. We'll just give the reference of our connection here and then boom. Now let's go to the MS SQL and let's see this stored procedure. What does it say? Let's modify it. Now it's very easy to create this stored procedure. Okay, so basically if you want to create the stored procedure, you go to stored procedure in the programmability, sorry, in the stored procedure and say stored procedure. It will create a stored procedure for you. Everything is pre-filled here. You just need to enter the procedure name here and your parameters. Parameters means the variables which we are going to pass here, and then you write your query, whatever operation, SQL operation you want to do. Okay, this was the template I showed you. Now here what we are doing is use employee, and then we say that create. Here you will say create procedure and then procedure name. We have employee name and employee salary because these are the only two fields which will be creating. Our employee ID is auto incremented, auto generated. It is not null. So we will be doing only these two fields. So we say insert into and this table and then the column names and put the values. What values? Values we are going to get from the application. So these are the variables which will be passing and their type varchar and integer. Okay, is it clear? So once you execute it, it will run. Okay, so I need the name of this stored procedure for my reference. So I will just copy this stored procedure name and will go to my thing and I will just paste it here. Okay, so I have inserted the stored procedure name here and our connection is established. Now next step is to open the connection. The same thing which we did previously. Connection con.open. Okay, connection is open Now what? Now we are going to call our cmd, the command from thing. Cmd command type is equal to command type dot stored procedure. Okay, so first is the definition of stored procedure. Don't worry guys, I will give you a revision on this so it is very clear to you. Then we will do the parameters. So which parameters we want to add with value. Okay, add with value. This is a method here, and we'll call this method, and we'll be calling our variable. Okay, I call it as okay, like Neil cut. Okay, and I call it as 23